Hello and welcome to FXcast. This is our daily FXcast market analysis. In today's video, we'll review the price action from today's session. We'll look at the daily trends for our currency pairs. We'll identify key support and resistance price levels for our currency pairs. We'll come up with a low volatility watch list and also an inside bar watch list. However, before we begin, we need to go over our disclosures. Understand that any symbols you see today should not be inferred as a trade recommendation. No matter what form of investing you choose, stock, forex, futures, options, they all have a level of risk associated with them, and you can lose your money. Any strategies we use today are for informational purposes. Future results are not guaranteed. And finally, any investment decision you make is solely your own responsibility. Trade at your own risk. So let's begin with the euro dollar. And as we start on the daily chart, we can see our beautiful uptrend. And the main thing we probably want to watch here is our rising 3 candle pattern that could happen tomorrow. We've got our push higher. We got our retracement day. A rising 3 candle would be another bullish day that takes out our high from our initial push out. So some people will put an alert at the close from Tuesday. Some will go with the actual wick. I'm sorry, this is Wednesday. This is Thursday. This is Wednesday. And some go with wick. So you could put an alert at the high, the wicks here of today's action to see if we're going to get a rising 3 pattern. Obviously, we're in an uptrend, so that's not the problem. The other thing we can see over here on our hourly is that this would fall into our low volatility watch list on the hourly, the 60-minute chart, because we can see that our bands are pinching. So this is going to come down. We'll see this later in our low volatility watch list. And again, what we basically want to do in this situation is as the bands begin to pinch, we want to start watching the price level and wait to see when these bands will open again and that a potential move will happen. Next, we will go to the euro yen, and of course, we know we had the news of today, which is that we had another earthquake, 7.4 earthquake, which happened about 10:30, 11 o'clock, and you can see how this really took off. Since the initial earthquake, we had to push down, and now we're taking off, and now we got a little pullback here onto. What we see is that same potential rising 3 candle pattern. So if we're going to be bullish about this, we will put an alert again at the wicks of the Wednesday, Thursday action and stay with that. We're not going to see that same low volatility on the hourly. However, if we are going to continue this downtrend, now keep in mind, we see an uptrend. And the best trading is when we are on a multi-time frame agreement. So the daily is an uptrend. We want to find places to go long on the hourly. For those who are counter trend, you may consider some type of action here at the 20 moving average as we move down. For those who like to go long, you can consider a break of the 20 moving average as confirmation, or you can go with the safe conservative entry, which is again the rising 3 pattern. Next, we have the euro franc, Swiss franc, and we can see on our daily, we're seeing a little consolidation, a little shelving going on here at the 200 moving average. Our orange line is the 200 moving average. That also matches up with our February action. So we're potentially putting in a double top here. And if we are, now, short-term wise, we're in a very messy uptrend. So for me to go long, I really would like to see us get back above this and show that we're going to close above the 200. We're going to close above this choppiness, and there's room to run. However, we can see as we come down to our smaller time frame, we're seeing some weakness. And there may be a trade below. You can see we have 4 days of wicks down here in the 1306 price. We got 3 days, 1, 2, 3, 4 days where we're wicking around here. So if I was going to go short, possibly to come down and match back up with the 20 or the 50 moving average, I would put an alert around 1.3075, 1.30600 to see if we can't catch some pips as we come down to retest the Euro franc. But this one, I wouldn't put on any watch list. Personally, I don't think there is a trade. Finally, for our euro, we got the euro pound. And here on our daily, we're seeing a nice potential bounce off the 20-moving average. We've got a nice uptrend from February. Really, even for January, we put in a higher low. We're moving higher. We know that some of the professionals look at, we got this nice big candle coming down on the daily from Tuesday. Yesterday's action took out half of that move, so a lot of longs were triggered there. Some people may be waiting for the actual top of this barrel. I would say we've got 2 wicks here. 2 wicks on a daily from Wednesday's action and from today's action. And we can see that I would probably go ahead and put an alert here around 0.8790 and see if this will take us higher to retest the swing high. Our hourly is not really giving us much. Maybe a bounce off the 20-moving average, but for me, I would go with a safe move, which is, you can even see it on the hourly. I would wait for us to break higher. You're giving up some pips, but that's the safe conservative entry. Next, we're going to go to the dollar currency pairs. First up, we have the dollar yen. And again, just like with the euro, we've got this move up from the earthquake. However, we do see some nice positive closes above the 200 moving average, daily close above the 2 moving average. And we have sort of either some call it a mat hold, some might call it an abbreviated rising 3 pattern, whatever you call it. I would go ahead and put an alert. We've got wicks here that we can watch. So around this 85.30 will probably where I put my safe conservative alert. Yes, you're giving up some pips. We are moving above the 20 moving average as we zoom in. So we've got an uptrend on the daily, and we're potentially seeing a bounce here on the hourly. So that's dual time frame agreement. I would probably see if we can, if I was aggressive, I would look for a pullback to the 20 moving average and try to catch that swing high, meaning that we've got our bounce. Let's put in a higher low somewhere, preferably at the 20 moving average, and then take the trade. And then you also can see, again, the wicks that we need to get above also to confirm the move higher. Next, we have the dollar franc. We can see the downtrend here. We can see the failure at the 50 moving average. We got an air kiss here. We actually made it. Some air kisses here. So now we're looking to see if we're going to put a push lower. And just as we can see on the daily, we have several wicks here at the 9145 price level. We can also see that on the hourly chart. And so I will be putting my alert around that 915, 9145 level, 4 level to try to catch a push lower. Here we can see that the bands did pinch together at some point today, and then we're getting that push lower. So this one has already started. This was on the low volatility list, and it really actually started moving higher and it completely reversed down lower. So we can see if we can get a short off of the 20 moving average and get a dual frame time frame agreement, or we can see if we push below the wicks. And our final dollar pair is the dollar Canadian, also in a downtrend, making new lows. This is certainly would be aggressive again right now. Certainly you want to see some type of pullback. The daily is dying for a pullback, and our hourly is maybe pulling back. Maybe let's take this to the 4 hours, see if we can see anything there. No. I would wait until we get some type of pullback to the 20 moving average on the daily, at least. I'm sorry, on the 4 hour here, at least, or even pullback here on the daily before I would consider going short again. Okay, let's head over to the pound currency pairs. We've got the pound dollar, and we can see a bit of choppiness in here, a bit of choppiness. And that choppiness is leading to a little bit of low volatility. So this will be our second low volatility pair that we're going to watch on the hourly. We got choppiness here on the daily, so we're not going to really get dual time frame agreement. However, you might say that we've got a triple top going on here. But again, what we're going to do is go ahead and mark our price levels, and we want to watch to make sure that when the bands begin to spread open, probably around this 6285 price level and up here around 6340 price level, that we're ready to get into the trade. Next we have the pound yen. Even before March, you can see this great daily uptrend. Oh, this is H4. Let's switch that. Sorry. There's our great uptrend. We saw this before where we got to push up and sort of a pullback a little bit here. What's nice to see that right now we're pausing at where our initial push up would be. I'm not ready to go long on this one quite yet. Certainly, as you guys know, I want to go ahead and put an alert here at this 339.55 price level. And I'm not ready seeing it yet on the hourly to see my long to get my dual time frame agreement. So I'm going to hold off on this one, but yes, I think we should have an alert up here, these two wicks. We have the pound franc, basically a downtrend. Yeah, the 20 and 50 somewhat being respected here, but we broke through and we pulled back. So is this a pullback to go higher? A little, just a little volatility, low volatility here on the pound franc. Doesn't technically qualify because it looks like we got it and then we pushed lower and now we're coming back. But I do think we should watch these price levels specifically. Down here, we can see wick. We got 3 wicks. Even one that broke through, but I think we should watch this next one because the next one would give us the band spreading down a little bit more aggressively to the downside. And up here we will be watching around, well, really around 1.5. As far as our inside bar, an inside bar basically is where today's action is within the previous day. So today's Thursday, and when that action is within the previous day, Wednesday, that is the inside bar. And the way you trade it is you basically go ahead and put your alerts at the high and low of that, and when you break that, that is your trade. So here's our Thursday, our Friday's action. The next day is already moving along here, so you will put an alert at the high of Thursday and the low of Thursday to see if we're going to break higher. You can see that our Euro pound is our inside bar candidate, and we talked about that for a trade higher to run and hit the 200 moving average. The other inside bar candidates are the Canadian franc, the New Zealand Canadian is an inside bar candidate, and the New Zealand dollar is the inside bar candidate. So with that, we want to thank you guys for watching our FXcast market analysis, and we will see you next time.